I really enjoyed working at Pizza Hut. It was a great place to work. I was really excited to work there and just wanted to have that experience of being a pizza delivery guy, and now I've done it and have some pretty fun experiences to look back on and also some lessons I learned from it. So, I want to talk about three of the biggest ones, and they are embracing your role, being optimistic with your learning, and supporting your teammates. As always, if the podcast is helpful for you, if building your relationship with yourself and making the most of your life and opportunities, definitely hit that follow button or whatever button you need to hit. As always, thank you so much for listening. Let's just jump right into it. So the cool thing about one of the coolest things about Pizza Hut or any of these other like really successful fast food places or one of the coolest things about Pizza Hut or any of these, restaurants that are kind of set up this way to support a bunch of workers is they have a proven system. And that's exactly why at McDonald's you'll get pretty much the exact same thing every single time. It's extremely consistent. The system is so down pat that pretty much anyone can do it. Hence why I was able to follow the system. And with every system, there are cogs, there are different pieces that keep that system running efficiently. Even though I am not the CEO of Pizza Hut, and I definitely don't think I ever will be, no offense, I I still played a very important role at Pizza Hut in this specific area of their cog, of their machine, of their system. And I felt that every day when I came to work. There'd be times when, I'd be struggling a little bit or I kind of tweaked my ankle during that semester, and the workers were very kind to me and very helpful, so I didn't have to deliver as much pizza during that time. I could wash dishes instead or take out trash. There's little things that I could do instead. So basically, what needs to happen is all these cogs, all these things, they need to work together. So while you also have, so you have cooks, you have delivery drivers, you have cashiers, you have all of this stuff, and it's very important that all of this works together. And so that was something I really looked forward to when I worked at Pizza Hut. Was, hey, I'm going to play a part. I'm going to be able to make a difference in someone's day. And I mean, that sounds a tiny bit silly, maybe, but truly, I had that experience being able to drive out and just make somebody's day, help them see them smile, and that really helped me smile, and I really enjoyed it. It was really a good time, and so that's something I definitely felt is just that I had a part to play, and if I didn't play that part, it was going to be less successful. It was not going to be as good, and I was going to miss out on these wonderful opportunities. And this obviously applies to life. We all have a role to play. We have experiences to share with other people that will help them out. We have opportunities opportunities to grow and to shine and make the world or make the community, make the place we're in a better place than it was when we got there. And that's something that Pizza Hut really helped me do, and I'm really thankful for that lesson. The second thing is being optimistic with your learning. I think this is absolutely huge. There's a really cool quote, and I'm not quite sure who said it, but it says, "Success is moving from failure to failure without any loss of enthusiasm." And I think this is huge when it comes to learning. That even when you make those big mistakes, like you're on the wrong delivery or whatever, that you are learning and you're trying and you're like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to do this better. And this is something that I actively did at Pizza Hut. I had workers telling me, like, hey, this is a better way to track this, it's a better way to, do this. And I do that and it'd go better or it'd go worse. And I just learn from it. I try to do the best I could, kind of like going back to the cog machine thing. I was thinking for myself, I was using some form of autonomy and like, okay, this is how I'm going to do my job better. This is the parameters I have to work with, but I still am going to do this to do better. And being optimistic with my learning is huge. When I jumped into the Pizza Hut pool of learning and life and such, I really intended to glean as much as I possibly could, soak up as much as I could, expose myself to as much discomfort and everything as possible, and learn as much as possible. I definitely succeeded in that. I think one big thing about being optimistic and learning is not crying over spilt milk or small stuff like that. And this is a culture that I saw at Pizza Hut. I'd mess up and the workers would not be upset with me about it. They'd be very patient and they might even laugh about it. That happened a couple times. Like, okay, well, you know, you can do better next time, kind of thing. It's okay. This is not defining you. You are much more important than one mistake. And I think that's a really powerful lesson to use throughout the rest of my life and just anyone's life in general is you're much more than any one singular mistake or any of your mistakes. Your value is much weightier than your weight is much heavier than all the gold in the world, you know? Your value is your value is communicated in a lot of different ways, but yeah, mistakes really don't do that. I mean, so they might. I think mistakes suggest different things, but they never conclude anything. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, so they suggest things, but they don't conclude anything unless you wanted to. Unless you wanted to. So that's something I saw at Pizza Hut. I'd make mistakes, and then it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do this better. I'm not gonna do that ever again. I'm going to do it a better way. Whether it was talking on the phone better or whatever. All those tiny little things. It really does matter, and there are people that want to do a better job. So I just show a little more respect, maybe tip a little bit more. There's a lot of people that didn't tip, but it wasn't about the money. Obviously, it's all about the experience for me and being able to make a difference. The final thing I wanted to talk about is about welcoming and supporting your teammates. So when I'd come into work, usually when I'd come into work, people would generally be pretty excited to see me, like, "Hey, Dallin, how's it going?" And that's cool. That's really cool. And I also, when I was leaving or when I was leaving on a delivery, there'd be that similar, like, "Hey, Dallin, good work, keep up the good work." And that's something I really was thankful for. Was someone that, as someone that as someone that responds very well to that positive reinforcement, especially when it's genuine like that, it helped me a lot. I mean, there were days when it was really hard to keep going or to make all those pizza doughs or whatever. There's days it was really hard to like do my actual work. Maybe it was pretty repetitive, but I had super good coworkers to help me and to help me make the absolute most of it. They were supportive. They would remind me I was doing a good job. They would talk with me. All that stuff really helped a lot. And Pizza Hut really was therapy for me in a long way. I know in a lot of ways it really was. I mean, there's this quote I have, and that's that therapy is action and action is therapy. And so, at least I think that's what the quote was. Anyway, it was, I definitely saw that over and over again. Just really thankful for the overall culture at Pizza Hut. It was a good time. I really appreciated the opportunities and just, I really feel like everyone had their best interests in me. Like they wanted to help me out, wanted me to grow and become my best. And then when I ultimately said, hey, I've had a really good time here, I'm going to move on. I'm going to, focus on my internship and other stuff. There was a lot of support there too. So just the welcoming coming in and the welcoming coming out and the welcoming all in between made a difference. Definitely wasn't lost on me. Thank you, Pizza Hut. I'm a believer. And I still have my hat. My hat is a pretty bomb hat, I gotta say. It's a good hat. So great experience. Really thankful for those 3 lessons about owning your role, embracing the opportunities to learn, and supporting your teammates. Definitely saw that a lot. With that all said, thank you so much for listening. Going to get that interview I did up on this upcoming Monday. I'm going to get it uploaded on this upcoming Monday, so thank you so much for your patience. I'm going to really work hard on getting a template figured out for interviews and all that stuff, and really going to bounce back and learn. So things are getting better for sure. Thank you so much for the support. I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to yield today. It'll be a better tomorrow. Ha ha ha.